Right. Been messing about. Let's have a quick rundown. Morning Barry, morning Roy, morning John. Morning Spinning Wood Dodger. That's a good name. Morning Peter, morning Trevor. Morning Paul. Morning Kevin. Morning Elena. Morning Andy. Morning Mo. Morning Mr. Carroll. Morning Paul Howard. You naughty boy you. Morning TJ. Right, back at the screen now. Morning Timothy. Morning Jason. Morning. Morning anybody I've missed. I just scan over the names quickly in the morning. And then watch this. Morning Clive. Morning Grant. Morning Paul Smith. Morning Nick. Morning Fred. Morning. Morning Bruce. Morning Mark. Yeah, the reason I say Mr. Howard, you naughty boy you, I put a post up saying we were going to do this, and Paul Howard come up and tried to scupper me plans. He said, let's do a really thin, long goblet with captive rings. And I nearly bit, and I haven't. I've got the bit of wood out and I put it back. I'm going to stick to what I was going to do. Throw some paint around. Morning Mark. Morning Four Kings. I'm saying morning Derek. Morning Peter. Morning Wood Dude. Morning Leroy. Morning Anthony. It's, yeah, I don't turn goblets. I think the last goblet I did was 6 years ago. I've never ever done a captive ring.
Please don't tell me you're doing one today.
And Karen said, don't go doing something like that. You'll break the goblet. Well, morning Anthony. Morning David. Morning James. Morning Mark. Yeah, so I don't do captive rings. I don't do goblets. And I was just thinking, what's different? Well, I was going to do a sort of Christmassy coloured goblet. Morning Martin. So a Christmassy coloured goblet is the plan. So Paul Howard, I am not going to get the bit of ash over that I was going to nearly bit to do. Morning Mark. Morning Colin. Trevor, quick question. What would you suggest as a sanding system that I can sand? The sanding system depends what you mean. I use the Simon Oak Pro Sander. This little beast here. Whoop, that way for the camera. And you can get 4 sizes of head for it now. And that's the one I use, one I stock. You can get a longer handle, so you can do inside deep hollow forms, all that sort of stuff. Very efficient, and that works. So if you're talking about sanding the ends of segments and sand down, then you put a disc on the lathe with a little platform, if that's what you think you're doing, making your lathe into a disc sander. And again, I keep an aluminium disc done by Simon Velcro back, and you put a disc of paper on there and you use it like a little disc sander. Or you could just turn a disc of wood, put a socket in the back, use your chuck and do it like that. Loads of ways of doing it. I hope that's sort of answered it. Morning everybody that's just joined. While I was waffling and they're answering questions, I missed loads of things flinging up. Morning Leslie, morning Chris, morning everybody, morning whoever I've missed, good morning. So, we've got to get going in just a moment. I'm mouthful of coffee and away we go. I've got to finish. So you have to tell me at 11:20. because today I've got to go and have a needle stuck in my arm, flu jab. Never had one before, and today's the day for a flu jab, all to protect Mrs. Oliver. Morning, Miss T. Yeah, so flu jab, and I've got to be there at 11:58. No earlier, no later. 11:58. They obviously don't know me. I'm late for everything, so I might not be having a flu jab today. Might be late. Might miss it. Gotta do my best. So I'm going to stick to what I was going to do. I'm not going to be goaded by Mr. Howard.
He wants you to colour the captive jewellery.
A little problem on Facebook. I think I've been cleared. It looks like I was put on the naughty step, and it seems for duplicating a post in Woodturning for beginners. They've got an area called announcements where anybody that does a live stream, we put our time of our live stream in that area, and Facebook decided this week that was against the rules. So, Oliver, don't do it. So, what we've got today is this block of Sycamore. It's cylindrical because it was wet turned. It's come out of the freezer yesterday, so hopefully it's defrosted enough. So we're going to do a bit of wet wood as a goblet. I burnt me little fingertips yesterday. I was emptying out the chest freezer because Mrs. Oliver, my wood freezer, has now stored food on top of me wood in the wood freezer. Anywhere she can fill up with frozen food, she seems to fill it up. So I had to lift it all out. And I'm lifting it all out, and there was white on my fingertips, and I'm thinking, well, that's not coming off. Anyway, I think, God, they're sore. I burnt my fingertips, frostbite.
Is there something that you can use for sanding bigger areas other than 50 mil?
The heads for the Hope, you get a 72 mil. It does a 95 mil. So yeah, I mean, there's loads. I hope that's answered that. So
Why was it in the freezer?
Why was it in the freezer? Right. So a little trick. I learnt this from Jay Richardson. If you've got nice white sycamore or wood that's green and you want to keep it intact as it is, what you can do is freeze it. And then when you pull it out, it comes out like the way it went in. Still green, still not discoloured. And defrost it and turn it. Great idea. Let's come to the overhead camera. Let's hope the camera gods play with us today and don't freeze up on us. Now, got a bit of pith there. We'll have that at the top. Hopefully that's going to turn away. Bring up the towel stock. Oh, missed it. Lock that off. And lock that down there. So we're in the tail stock. Now that camera is not very good, is it? Let's move that around a little bit. Up a little bit. Stop burning the bolt. Fire! Right. So should be a better view now. Bring up the tool rest. Turn it on centre-ish. Use me knockout bar to drive the drive centre. I'm using a step. Home, bang, bang, bang. Pinch up on the towel stock. Tighten that up. Make sure that's locked. Make sure the tool rest is locked. Find me safety specs. Oop, do me neck up. Woohoo! And we'll do some wood turning. Safety specs on. This is much nicer than that nasty wood we was using last time. So, turn the old speed down. Push the green button. Green is go. Red is stop. I keep remembering to remember that, and I always get it wrong. And we slowly turn the speed up. I want the vibration. Probably still a bit of ice in there, I think. And we're at about 700 RPM at the moment. just grabbing a bowl gouge, and I'll just run along here, make sure she's fairly true. Something about turning green wood, good fun. I can't lift cameras and turn at the same time. Hold on. Right. Okay, so we've got the camera in the wrong place. Let's come there-ish as that. Got the tool rest? Got the tool? Now my screen, no, you can't see that on yours, can you? Oh yes you can now. We got a delay. As that. Yeah, you can see that. I'm looking at the screen while I'm doing this to make sure you can do it. I'm just feeling the cut and the tool rest. So, yeah, you're alright now. I was looking for a narrower piece of wood, but this was the narrowest I found. I would normally use this for a hollow form. As I say, I don't do goblets, so I don't cut wood to suit goblets. If I'd had a nice bit of green tree out there, a bough or something, I could have used that, but I haven't, so I could bring this down with a spindle roughing gouge, or I use a bowl gouge. So, seeing if we can get a bit more speed into there. Okay, and it's bouncing a little bit. Let's see what. Thanks for watching. See you later. Okay, so now let's fly a few shavings off. Using the wing of the tool, clear a few shavings. We need that song, it's as cold as ice. She is cold. Right. That was the pith. That went. Let's rip that out a bit. It's got rid of that pith. Okay, so what I want to do is just make a chucking point on the end here. What was that?
How long does it take to defrost?
How long does it take to defrost? Longer than I thought.
Joey used to just take it out the night before, didn't she?
Yeah, you normally take them out the night before or something like this. Obviously, it's extremely cold yesterday. I took it out yesterday afternoon. when the Tesco's delivery man came and we had to put more food in my wood freezer. I won't keep harping on about that, mind you, because I won't get any tea. But so normally overnight is fine. I suppose on a cold. Oh, look at the colour in that. This has all got ripple in it and a real shimmer there. Oh. Problem.
Is that going to be the top now?
This is now going to be the top because of this patination here. And what I was going to do was make it Christmassy with unicorn spit glitter paint. That was the plan. But with this patination here, to cover it in that would be wrong. So we're not going to do that now. Bugger. Right, we're going to turn this round. This goblet's going to be still going to be coloured, but we're going to do it differently. So I'm going to turn that around. Lock that down. Get that in there. Give that a tap home. Lock that all up. Change your plan. Bring the tool rest up here. It seems a shame to make a goblet out of this. It really does seem a shame to make a goblet out of this. This piece of wood will make a stunning looking holoform. People, you got a choice. We either change from a goblet to a holoform with this piece of wood, or
They're saying change your mind.
we go.
Hollow form, I think.
Right. Today's demo is going to be about a little holoform. Okay. So, what we're going to do now is start getting some shape into this bottom and make a chucking point. This is going to be the bottom. Just pushing the shape in the bottom now. Just twisting my body into the lathe. That'll be our cut off, and then we're going to come this way. Bit of a jump there. I want to see what I've got to save at the top. Alright. Okay.
Said holoform with captive rings.
Holoform with captive rings coming up, Paul. I'm just reshaping the top round. We'll lose a bit of this top. The main bit is in there that we want. I'm just twisting my body away from the lathe as we go. Somewhere there. And we'll pick a cut up around here. It's going to change a little bit as we go. So to get this shape, I'm lifting my arm as I go, in timing with my twist. To get my curve. I'm going to come back this way, pick a cut up there. Somewhere there. Let's have a look at this now.
I don't think this is a good idea.
Right, so we're going to get a mounting point on the bottom here. Ooh. Someone should have cleaned this lathe bed. Sticky and dirty. Oh, that should have been me then. Didn't do that, did I? In here, we're just going to clean this bottom off to take a mounting point. Raise the handle as we go. Take that pit down a bit there. Not too far. Make sure we're fairly flat there, which we are. Get the old vernier. What did I do? Ah, there we are. Vernier, and my chucking point is going to be 46mm. So get my caliper on there. My elbow's going to get in the way of this. You're not really going to see. Left point in, right hand point, just as a guide. That's going to be about there. That's about 46mm, somewhere around there. Bring the tool rest round. Now, be careful if you move the tool rest with the lathe spinning. If you're not comfortable with that, don't do it. Stop the lathe first. If you're banging things around, stop the lathe first. If you're all comfortable with it, you can move your tool rest while the lathe's spinning. And now I'm just going to cut my spigot. Using my skew. Oh, there's a bit of ice. That's it. This will be fun boring this out. That's better. There. Now I want this spigot fairly deep. Just a slight chamfer on there. We'll do a goblet next weekend. Or I could put this on a big stick. Right, so let me just check my depth now. I'm going to lean across the lathe, so I am going to stop it. I don't want to lean across the spinning lathe. I think I want around about 12mm or something on my depth. About there. It's about 12mm. Do me fine. Make sure that shoulder's nice and square. looks good. So far so good. So we'll take that out of there and we'll mount this into the chuck. I'm just checking you can see what's going on, because I switched the camera over, I haven't switched it back again. Drop that onto there, tighten the chuck up.
Does the freezing process make the wood more brittle, and will that spigot be enough?
The spigot will be enough, and no, it doesn't make it more brittle. If it's thawed out, then it is just like turning green wood. This is fairly thawed. It'll be a bit of ice in the middle, I think, purely because of the temperature, but it'll be fine. No problem. It'll be fine. Don't worry. You'll worry too much. What could possibly go wrong? Right, so we get this on the old lathe there, do that up. This is now become staining a hollow form. I can bring the tail centre up there. Drop that tool rest down a bit and we'll get our shape into this. This is going to come off here, that's too narrow there for this. I want to get this curved tucked under so that the foot comes under a bit, and I want to retain this area, so I can't take much off the top, but I'll take a little bit. But it's similar sort of shape to you've seen before, but you'll see what's going to happen here as we go. Hold on. I did do the chuck up, didn't I? Yeah. Right. Less haste, more paste, as they say. So let's just bring this shape round. See how easy it cuts. Wet wood, some of the best stuff to turn. Get rid of that bit. This is just our waste wood for part in here. Get rid of that. Bring that back into there. Somewhere there. Bring that tool rest down here a little bit. I just want to go in so I can get under further with this. Little roll of the wrist to do that. Pick that up. Just refine this bottom shape here. Right, and now we'll blend these two curves together and take that top down a little bit. There. Yeah, it's a very light cut here. Now we'll come back the other way, blend this one in here. Handles nice and low. Twisting into the lathe. Little lift as we go. somewhere there. A little bump in here now. Red, 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 red. Look at this patination through there. Right. So now we'll just tidy this up a bit. Yeah, we'll lose that bit. Right, we'll just tidy this up a little bit. Here, I'm just going to use the wing of the tool. Got a bit of a bounce through there. Oh, it's not happy there. Reshape this round. Reshape that round there. We've got a little bump there. I want to get some of this end off here, so I'm going to clear some of this end away now. So I'm just going to come in with the tip. Look at that. Look at that. Right, we want a bit of this here. What we're going to do is make a big goblet, giant goblet. Through there. Fine cut round. Somewhere there. Right. Now we'll get rid of some of this tip. Just picking up the edge and chopping down on this bit of wood, because we won't want this peg. That can go. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, something like that. Right, I want to get rid of that peg now, so I'll get rid of the towel stop and make sure that this is going to dry out as we go along. So get rid of my elbow stabber. I'm going to need a Forstner bit. Oh, got a Forstner bit. Andy, Harry, got a Forstner bit. So we're getting rid of that. And we're just going to get rid of this peg here. Just chop down on that. And then we get a Forstner into there. That's going to work. Turn that on. Make sure we're right. Just nice and gentle. Come on, give up, surrender. Just got rid of that. Okay. Forcing a bit. Forcing a bit. Forcing a bit here. Into there. Find one that will take out a fair chunk of that. That's the biggest one that I've got here. That'll do. That'll do nicely. Now I need a spanner. I need some spanners. I've got one. Where's two gone? Lost me spanners. Hold on a second. Aha! On here by my keyboard. So we're going to change this quickly. Get rid of this one. What I will do is I'm going to start boring without the extension in first, so that the tip doesn't vibrate around to get us started, and then we'll come over and put the extension in. Getting a right 2 and 8 here, everything's all over the place. Right. What you get for changing things. I've got the speed at around about, whoop, not that slow, around about 500-600, that'll do. And let's see if she'll bore nicely. Always back the Forstner off. You don't want a mile of shavings building up behind it, because it will get stuck in there. Through there. Take that one out, and now we'll put the extension in. Red, red, red. Stop, stop, stop. Not green, green, green. Extension in. Now, is this extension going to be long enough? Yeah, down to the... Yeah, that'll do. There. In the chuck. Yeah, down to the chuck-ish. Down to the chuck-ish. Put that in there. Lock that down. Turn that on. Wind that back. Withdraw. Forward. It's frozen now. Now if you're doing this and supporting the chuck, now what can you see? You can see there, let's come back overhead, see if you can see that. I'm supporting the chuck, not on the teeth, back on the body of the chuck. Might have been better on the camera we was at, really. Oh, that one. On the body of the chuck, not the teeth, because if it slips, these will cut your hand. So, just be wary of that. So we'll carry on boring in. Back it off. Got to say, this FU230, the quill is so smooth. Nice and easy to wind back. Draw that back out. Put that on there. That there. That'll do us. Right, that's that board out. Let's get rid of that. Might have to move the cameras around for you. We'll do a quick bit of hollowing. So I want to bring me towel stock out rather than hollow down the bed. It's far easier to bring this around. Oh, there. Now let's see what cameras we've got where. Hold on. And quick adjustment, we weren't planning on this today, obviously. I've changed everything. What's he up to now then? Right, now let's get onto a camera. That one's no good. That one's not a lot of bottle. That one's going to be our one, which I think is this one. So let me just rotate that to there and lock her off there. She don't want to do that. Naughty little camera. How's that? That's that one. We'll bring the overhead one out here. Somewhere there-ish. Okay, so let's grab a hollowing tool. We'll see if we can rip some of this wood away. I've got the PCT hollower there. And we'll just see how it's going to cut. Just rocking my wrist around. Bring that tool rest back a little bit. It's better. Now you can see my arm on the end camera. I'm just pivoting myself around. I've got a better idea. Let's go that camera there. Move that camera there. As that. Just trying to mimic the outside shape. Try harder. course, I'm doing all this. We could easily go through the side and that'll be the end of it, wouldn't it, really? Then I should have stuck to plan A, doing the goblet. But nothing like changing your mind, is there? Right. Just pivoting myself round, trying to rip away some of this bulk in the inside. Feeling me way round the inside, and you have to keep clearing the shavings because they clog up your tool. Let's get rid of that. How are we doing? Oh, looks good. Looking good. So far, so good. Here's some more of them shavings out. I'll be back. In just a second. Now, you should use a vacuum or something to get rid of your shavings because of the dust, but we're dealing with wet wood, so there won't be too much dust, so I'm just going to blow them out for speed. We're halfway down, so we won't be too much longer with this process, hopefully, you see. Just feel your way around. This is Simon Oak PCT Pro Carbide hollowing tool. I like it. Hold on. I like it. It's got a little 6mm carbide cutter, 2 grub screws on the top, and you can undo the grub screws, remove that cutter, and then put in a hook tip. Because I'm lazy, I've got one with a hook tip and one with not. The other advantage is as you're going deeper, these grips pull off and you can then put it into a handle and you've got yourself a big, long hollowing tool. So I do most of my hollowing, 90% of it, with that. I am going to have a go and a play with the Big Brother. I just bought the Hamlet Big Brothers in, and it's about the only hollowing tool that I haven't tried. So I'm going to have a play with that and see what that cuts like. It's got a similar sort of cut at top, but it's got a shield on it, so that's something I want to play with. I've got a bit of a bump there, let's get rid of that, and then we'll start getting a caliper onto it to make sure we've got an even wall thickness. Blow that out. And grab a caliper. There. About 8mm. Yeah. Right. I'm going to start doing this early on before I get carried away. Can easily get carried away with this stuff. And again with the hook. Try that, see where we're at. I want to get it a fairly even wall thickness all the way down. Yep. You'll see why in a short space of time. Now it's not going to crack because we're going to take it down to about 4mm. So this is going to be like a thin wall turning demo now. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get down. Normally what I would do is shine a light on the outside and keep an eye on it on the inside. But what I'm going to do is I've got a light. I was going to do a thin wall goblet. I'm going to put a light inside so it shines through and then return the outside down to the light. We can spray it with water to keep it moist so that it doesn't. And if we go down thin, reasonably thin, then the piece should stay as finished. I use the tool to cut. I'm cutting just below centre. I use the cutter. Hold on. Get rid of them. Right. So I use the cutter. We look at that there. I use the cutter slightly tilted over to around about the 8 o'clock mark. When I'm ripping wood, I'll have it at the 9 o'clock horizontal mark here, and then I can trail the cutting edge just down, and I'll cut just slightly below centre, and that's the way I do it.
Is there a traditional tool you could use for hollowing?
What?
A traditional tool.
Traditional, they used to use ring tools, I think, a bit, and hook tools, so you get a ring, you have a ring, or half a ring with a hook. And on the continent, a lot of continental turners use those. I've always done mine with tip tools. I've used rollies, saltbees. I've got a whole array of hollowing tools. So I've got a whole array of hollowing tools that I use, but I tend to always come back to this Pro Carbide one. It's efficient, quick, simple, and you can just feel your way around the form as you're going. So it's quite a useful bit of kit, really. And what I'm going to do is get rid of my towel stock out of my way and just see where we're at here. 10, 15, got a way to go there. Now we start getting our size in. I'm going to come down to about there. One trick you can do with your hollowing tool, if you're not sure where your tip is, if you get a felt pen, when I'm teaching this is one of the ways I teach. If you get a felt pen and put a line in the centre of your cutter, then when your cutter disappears and you can't see it, you can see the line, so you can see if you're tilted at the right angle. What you can see there, I'm just trying to, yeah, so you can see where you're at because you can gauge your line. Okay, you could put a line on your grip even, just so you can see that line if you're unsure, and you can see where your tip is, like that. So it's quite a useful way with any hollowing tool to know where your cutter is. Once you get doing it for a while, you can feel and you know where your cutter is, what you should do. And the trick is to keep using your caliper so you don't get carried away.
Are you using Simon's calipers?
Yeah, these are Simon Hope caliper. I like them because you've got a measure on the side, so you can see exactly where you are on that measure when you're measuring in. So
Do you have easy wood hollowers?
no, I'm not used a easy wood hollower. Got nothing against easy wood tools. I just think they're a bit overpriced. You know, I sell hollowing tools up to 200 quid each, and this Pro Carbide is 69 quid, and it does everything that a 200 quid tool will do. The operator can still get it wrong with anything. So right, we're getting there, we're getting to our sort of 8mm mark. What I'm going to do is take it to about 8mm is the plan. Not -8. I don't want to go -8, just 8. And then we're going to use a light. just drawing out the middle core now. Full of shavings again. That's how quick it takes the shavings out. I have to keep emptying it. In there. And when we get thin, air won't be such a good idea because it will start drying it out a bit where we don't want it to dry, but it will do while we're at this thickness. Yeah. Way to go yet. Let's get some more out. Ooh. As I'm drawing this tool back, I'm just rocking my body much the same as I do on the outside. We're nearly there, and for wall thickness we're thicker down the bottom, we're about right to around about there at the moment, so further away we're at the wall thickness. Mix out and wants to know what? What they say is -1. Side to base, that is the weak area when you're hollow forming. And what you want to do, realistically, if I come over the top here, what I'm doing is when I'm working down, I'm sort of picking up the hole and just fishing back sideways down the hollow form. Then I'll go backwards and forwards like this to take the wall thickness down and fill the bumps and try and get that smooth, and then I'll start working further down with this sort of outward motion. So this is what my hands are doing on the outside, and this is what's happening to the cutter, and then I'll go with my body around trying to follow the curve of the arc. So when I get to the bottom, the problem is I've cut out this way, then I've done this, But then I get to the bottom and I'm coming out like that, but I've got to draw back. And when you draw back, you'll get an overlap, which could be thin. If you're getting a catch at the bottom, what my guess is you're trying to do this action. And of course, as you get to here, you're pushing the cutting tip into the bottom and there's a catch point. So you're far better off working backwards in this sort of archy motion and coming back to join up the down.
Someone said the corner camera is covering up your work area.
The corner camera.
Yeah, the square in the screen.
That square in the screen, right. So let's come back to, let's try and find the best camera. What about that? Well, what will you see there? Not a lot. Yeah, probably the better one. Let's try that. So now we're going in with the caliper. I'm 8 there, I'm about 8 there, and I'm about 14 there. Probably just over halfway down. What are we doing for time? Ooh, right. Okay. Let's see if we can get this away. Now once I start getting a bit deeper, the tool's pulling down on me like this. And that's when you slip a handle in. Slip a handle in. What's that like that? Slip a handle in to give you more counterbalance on the back. So we're to there now. What I'm going to do is just slip that into a quick release handle. I have one just sitting here somewhere, watching me time. Right. Handle. Right, got my handle, quick release handle. I can slide the grips out of there. I want another top, red top. Let's see a red top somewhere. I've got an orange top, I need a red top for this quick release handle. Can't see me red. Got me red tops, alright. Don't panic, Mr. Mannering. So now, if I slide this tool into a quick release, Simon Oak quick release handle, there, I've got a tool. Let's come, where's the camera gone? I've lost the camera there. So now you can see I've got a tool twice the length. So I've got a lot of counterbalance on the back. I've got a camera on my shoulder that's causing me grief. Let's feed this in there. rescue that camera. It was only a little camera. Bang, it went. Right, so let's get this out of here. I don't think I'm going to have time to make this thing today.
I've given you a 15-minute countdown.
15-minute countdown. Got to go and have a jab. Jabber. Right, so let's see where we're at with our caliper now. So I can come down here. And I'm still thicking the bottom here to there. So to here.
I think your camera's frozen.
Camera's frozen. Why that does that, I don't know. Right, I think you've still got volume, but we've got a frozen camera. I really don't understand why the cameras freeze. It's got to be an OBS thing. Right, we seem to have a side camera going again. OBS keeps freezing me out for some reason. What I was saying is I'm down to about here with this. So what I want to do now is just get that bottom bit out if I can. Somewhere there. Sorry people, the camera, for some reason OBS freezes out the camera. I upped the memory of the machine in case it was processing power. And that hasn't fixed it. So I'm going to have to do a bit of research online or find different software really. There, we're about there. Right, we've just got a little bit in the bottom, but we're running out of time. So what I would do now is spin this around, spin it round, and then I'll start using a light. We'd start using a light, bring that up, turn that on. This is going to be for a thin wall goblet, didn't happen. So start using the light through there, and you can see the light shining through there, and it gives us an indication to our wall thickness. If I just drop the light off overhead, it gives you a bit more of an indication. Now, unfortunately, you're not going to see too much there because of the camera angle, and I can't get the overhead to work. Hold on a second, I've got another idea. We're working on one camera that seems to be okay to work. So if I bring that up, where's that one? Right, let's bring this up, bring this over, and see if I can get that. So let's come there. So you can see the light coming through the wall thickness there. And then we turn that. It's really light there, but that's the patination in the wood. The grain changes. So the idea is we would carry on with that down. So I'm just trying to find a way to rig this temporarily, which I can't. I'm back over there with that. See where that's going. There. Like so. So that's the way we would do it. So what I'm going to do is turn the lights back on. Find some stain. Should have gone with the goblet, shouldn't I? Should have gone with the goblet. Never mind. So I'll turn that down a bit. What I'm going to do, you're going to stop part the way through thin turning. Let's turn that light off. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Right, if you're going to stop part way through thin turning, what you can do is soak the wood. This is definitely not a way to do a demo. A sprayer bottle with water. Sorry people. Sprayer bottle with water. What you would do is spray the wood, soak it up. If you want to go off and have a cup of tea or your lunch or something, spray it up, and then you could get some cling film or a wet towel, but cling film, and rewrap it with a cling film. Can't reach the cling film, it's over there. Hold on. So I could rewrap this with cling film while it's wet, and I'd get away with a little while of doing it like that. So that's what's going to happen to this in a bit. But just to show you why I wanted to save this, because I know what I'll say. I'll stain this later and you'll see it. Well, I will stain it later because it's a beautiful piece of wood. So I'm sort of wet sanding here. And this wet just clogs up the paper. So you can just get a brass brush and brush it out. Note to self, don't change your demo. When you've got something planned, just change the piece of wood. And get OBS not to freeze. If you were down to thin, you can then start sanding this down to dry. And what I just want to demonstrate to you, and I will finish this once I come back from the doctor's today, Let's have a look at that. Right, sanded that bit. Lathe bed's covered in water, everything's gone wrong now. All gone Pete Tong. Right, what I want to just do quickly, I just walked in with some stain. Try and not get it all over my hands. The old nurse will think I'm an alien. This is not properly sanded yet, so I've got a lot of jobs to do today, but this is going to take first place as soon as I come back from the old jabber. We'll dry this out properly, but I'm just going to give you an idea of what I will finish. I'll definitely finish this. Let's put that there for a minute. Let me go with next grit down. Turn this on. Hold me close. Right. What I'll do is I'll video the rest of this and then get it uploaded as a video. Right, so we keep sanding this down, and you can see these ring marks here. Will, with another bit of stain, do that. Right, so if I bring the camera over here, I can see what's in here. You might not get this at the moment. Sorry, I'm moving you about now, it give you a headache. And you see the patination there coming through in the colour, all through here. Well, when this is sanded properly and dried, and the stains were applied, that's really gonna pop. So that's why I went against. You've got a rippling coming down here, there's a bit of ripple round the back, but this is the real bit here. So it's really gonna pop later. So another disastrous demo because it went Pete Tong. Let me just come back and see if I can get any other camera to work. I've got an intro talking camera. Change your plan. Don't change plans. I should have just gone and got the bit of ash, done the goblet, done this later. So what I'll do is once I get back from the old doctor's here, I'm going to wrap this I'm going to finish soldering it, which won't take too long. I've got paint on my hands again, look. I'll finish soldering it. I'll use a light and I'll shoot some video of the finishing process, and then I'll sand this up and apply the colour, and then put some pictures up of it. 1 minute I'm on the screen, 1 minute I'm off. I've run out of time. And change the project. And. So, I am going away. Sorry I changed your plan, and I will come back, because I can't leave this. It will just warp and do all sorts of things. It needs to be turned out to, with the lights, it will be turned to around about 4mm even wall thickness, sanded dry, and then the colour applied and get finished. So that will be the thing. What I'm going to do is soak it quickly, wrap it in that cling film so it lasts for the half an hour, off to the doctors and back again. Thank you for your patience. Thanks for watching. I'm sorry that it's changed and run out of time and all the rest of it. Thanks for coming by this weekend. I'll get a video up for you. I hope you've enjoyed the bits that you've seen and you've sort of picked up some tips from it. One of the biggest tips is do not change your plan demo to something completely different just because you see a nice bit of wood. But that's life. That's me. If I see something in a piece of wood, then I think, ooh, I'm going to do that. Which didn't make for the best demo, but hopefully you've enjoyed the morning. I look forward to seeing you next week. Goodbye everybody, thanks for stopping by. If you've got questions, please just ping an email or message over and I'll look at it later. Pat Carroll, that's very kind of you. I wouldn't have done that if I was you, but thank you very much. Thanks all for stopping by. Sorry about the OBS. I'm gonna sit and find out what's going on with that. I've got to shoot. See you next time. Goodbye.